we pause for a second or two. This is episode 205, Body as Subject. Our greatest asset, our most versatile asset, is also something we cannot really call an asset, really. It's something that is the same as us. I am talking about our body, our physical body. We can spend our whole life getting to know our body, making use of our body, experiencing our body. Unfortunately, in times of war, in times of conflict, in times of strife and domination, our bodies, the bodies of each other, is often what is being targeted. When someone's body, be it our own or that of another, when a body is targeted, it is being objectified. It is being made into an object. And right now, we are seeing many different ways of us, all of us, targeting each other's bodies, making each other's bodies objects, things. We live in such a time right now that we are encouraged, we are pressured, we are reminded again and again and again to adopt this thinking, to adopt this point of view of viewing both the body of ourselves and the bodies of others as objects. Objects are something that things are done unto. Acts are done unto an object. An object is passive. An object is not in control of its own story. An object is just a leaf being blown in the wind. The object does not change its mind. It's an object. It does not have a mind. It is simply being done unto according to the wish of another. Today's episode is called Body as Subject. And this is us balancing out the equation. Just because there is so much objectification going on right now, making each other into objects, trying to render each other passive. Just because there's so much of that going on right now does not mean that our body as a subject goes away. These two are not mutually exclusive. Intellectually, it can seem like a subject and an object cannot exist at the same time, but in reality, in practice, they do. We can be made into objects and still act as subjects at the same time. That's the thing. What is unfortunate, however, is when we think that just because we are being made into objects to such a high degree right now, we think we have to stop being subjects, or we forget to be subjects, or we are lazy and just stop doing it. So, yes, we will take some different examples now of us being made into objects, but at the same time we can be subjects in the same situation. So, in modern medicine, let's start with that. In modern medicine, we talk about our bodies as objects. We sort of analyze our bodies due to the latest research, and we talk about different parts of our bodies, different functions, different subsystems. We talk about all these kinds of different abstractions, emotionally abstractions, intellectually not, but emotionally. We talk about proteins, we talk about hormones, we talk about DNA, we talk about blood values, we talk about blood pressure, brain waves, heart rhythm, all these different kinds of things. So we have this really intricate way of analyzing our bodies as objects, according to what is called modern science. And okay, that is part of our contemporary time. But at the same time, we feel how our health is. If you feel strong, you know that you're strong. If you feel that it is easy to breathe, then you know it. If you feel like your legs are strong and that you can run fast and far, you know that. As a subject, you know it. You have agency. You can tell it yourself. It's unmistakable. You just know. Through your sensations, through your intuition, you know. And that is body as subject. To know how our body is feeling. To know that when I feel dizzy or lightheaded, I need to lie down. It's very simple. We just forget how simple it can be. If I feel heavy-hearted, maybe I need to sit down and put a hand on my heart. If I feel aching in my body, perhaps I need a warm bath. You know? This is to make use of our body as a subject, as someone doing something, having agency, being active, not passive, active. A second example, we are being fed endless images of sexuality, pornography, beauty ideals, celebrities, people in power. And yes, the sort of the vastness of it, how much there is so much content, so much about bodies as objects when it comes to sexuality. So much. It never ends. And this is true. This is one part of our contemporary life. It does not go away. But at the same time, we feel things. We know things. We feel an inner drive. We want to go somewhere. Our body as a subject. And how our body feels sexually. This is perhaps the most personal thing there is. Perhaps the most important thing there is. And a lot about what makes life worth living comes from this. A third example. Our social relationships. Our hierarchies. Our place in society. There is a lot of discussion right now talking about bureaucracy, the bureaucracy of people. And there is also so much being said right now about what might be called technocracy, to replace bureaucracy with technology, with AI, with algorithms with code, to replace people with code, to replace all the bureaucrats with computer programs instead. So when we look at this, there is a lot of pressure on us right now to understand ourselves, to understand our bodies in this web of social life, to understand ourselves as objects, to quantify ourselves. How much are you worth? How much money do you make? How much money can you make? How can you translate your body into something quantifiable, like an object? What is your net worth? So our place in society and our financial situation is also an example of our bodies being made into objects, and we ourselves adopting this way of thinking. And it seems that this is also a part of life, to think about ourselves in this way. But it does not need to be the only leg. We can also have our other leg to stand on, to be subjects, our bodies as subjects. And here we have a lot about how we make decisions in life, how we feel about ourselves and our place. What are we really doing here? What is your place? Where do you want to be? Where are you? Do you have agency? Are you a subject? Are you directing where your body goes and how you do it? When you enter a room in your workplace, do you feel like your body is being just, moving on a string, being passive? Or do you feel like when you enter a room, you are entering the room? When you stand close to a coworker, is it you who decide how close you're standing, or do you feel like you have to adjust according to someone else's idea? This can be subtle, and at the same time it can be very clear how we sort of move between thinking about ourselves as objects and subjects. And we know instinctively, we feel when someone thinks of themselves as an object or a subject. We feel it how close they stand to us. We feel it how they direct their attention to us. We feel it how they respond, their pauses. We feel it in what they say. We feel it in what they do not say. We feel it in how they look us in the eye or look away. We feel it in our own face, and we see it in their faces. All of this is and can be body as subject, to be in the continuous experience of our bodies. It's like dancing. It has this rhythm to it. We are experiencing our bodies as subjects, as a rhythm. The coming and going, the entering, the leaving, the making more than making less, the accelerating and decelerating, making more intense and slowing down. This is also body as subject. There's a lot to say about this topic. And the Polaroid, the emotional skill corresponding to all that we've said today, is universal skill body. That we are objects, we are being made into objects, yes. Very much so in this very tense time. But we are not less of a subject just because of that. Not unless we forget to. We can choose to be subjects at the same time. But it takes effort. Continuous effort and a will. That's it for today. Thank you.